So last night, there was an update for Mario Kart World that went over terribly. It was extremely unpopular among Mario Kart fans, very controversial in the Nintendo community in general, and unanimously hated among Nintendo YouTubers. This basically changed how online lobbies work in the game. And I will admit, the online lobbies were already extremely flawed in the first place, and I'm talking about specifically when choosing tracks. I think Knockout Tour is handled pretty well online, but I did feel like just regular races were kind of handled weirdly. Because before, you would either choose one of the preset decisions that Nintendo had there, and most of them, 90% of the time, they were intermissions. And then sometimes it would give you a regular track, but they were mostly intermissions to another track. But it did give you the option for random, and random guaranteed an actual 3-lap track until this update. Because this update made it to where random will very likely give you an intermission now. So now, there's basically no choice. It's kind of unlikely that you'll get a regular track now, which is extremely unfortunate. And I will say, I don't think this update ruined Mario Kart World. I feel like that's a bit of an exaggeration, because I do really like Knockout Tour, and I will say the intermissions aren't terrible, they're just fine, I would say. They're not something that I would play entirely. And the thing is with intermissions, I think they're a mixed bag, honestly. I don't think they're entirely bad, like some people are saying, but I also don't think they're really all that good. They can work in certain contexts, but sometimes they're just not really well designed. It's literally just a straight line. And then sometimes they can be pretty fun, like there's one where you go up on top of a mountain, or you're going down a river or something. It could be a little more interesting, but I feel like those interesting ones are few and far between. I feel like for every interesting intermission, there's 3 or 4 boring ones, I would say. I feel like it's much more preferable that they would give you the option to play on a regular 3-lap track. And I have seen some people saying that, oh, I actually like this. I actually like kind of going in between the different tracks. And I can understand that. I do kind of enjoy it from time to time. Because, like I said, there are some intermissions that are actually decently well designed. But the thing is, if you're enjoying this and you think this is better than it was before, I just think that's kind of weird. I mean, yeah, sure, I can understand that you like the intermission model better. That's an opinion that I respect. But I can't really understand why some people think a lack of options is okay. And I think that's something that some people need to understand. People aren't mad that there are intermissions in the game. People are fine with that. The thing that people are annoyed about is the fact that you can't choose to play a regular 3-lap track. It's the lack of options that's a problem here. Because I think it would be ideal if you could actually, go into the lobby and choose if you want to either play, one with intermissions, one with intermissions exclusively, or ones without intermissions. I think that's really how they should do it. I think that's just a really weird and dumb decision that Nintendo is funneling down people's options into only intermissions. And I think this kind of shows a broad issue with Nintendo in general. I've discussed this before with my problems with modern Paper Mario, with another series that kind of funnels you down into doing something very specific. But Nintendo doesn't like you to have options. They like you to do one specific thing. They want you to play the game in the way that they want you to play it. I know that's not always the case, but it does seem like they want to implement that model into quite a lot of games. Steve Gaming made a good video about it with Echoes of Wisdom, how certain challenge runs for the game were hard to pull off with how the game was designed, and like I already mentioned with Paper Mario, it kind of funnels you into a certain way of playing because there aren't like proper badges or a leveling system and things like that. And with Paper Mario, that issue is mostly resolved for the most part with the Thousand Year Door remake happening, and we are seeing games with more options like Donkey Kong Bonanza, like having like a really cool upgrade system, and that game has like a lot of freedom to it. But there still are some games where Nintendo does want to funnel you into a certain path, and I feel like Mario Kart World sometimes does that, like specifically with its online mode. Thankfully, if you are doing versus with friends, you could just play the game however you want to, and I do play versus with friends a lot, so it is good that we'll at least be able to select the 3-lap tracks, like for the most part, though I do wish they gave you the option to turn off the intermissions if you don't want them on. That's another thing, but at least it gives you the option to select a 3-lap track. So it is just really weird that they aren't really doing anything in terms of options for like the regular online lobbies. And the thing is, there are a lot of people who like to play Mario Kart competitively and are very passionate about it. So I feel like this definitely ruined how some hardcore gamers play the game, and I feel like a lot of people need to respect that. Like, even though it didn't really ruin Mario Kart World like a lot of clickbait thumbnails are saying, it did kind of ruin the experience for some people, because some people really liked to play on those online lobbies. But anyways, those are my thoughts on this Mario Kart World update. It's just really unfortunate to see an update just doing something worse when the game has already gotten a lot of criticism. It just seems extremely tone deaf, honestly. I know Nintendo really isn't listening to the fans that much, but I feel like they should at least have some sort of idea of how people feel about this game. They should at least be engaging with the community a little bit, because we've seen in the past that Nintendo does listen to some decisions. So, yeah, it's just a really weird situation going on, and I hope they hear the backlash to this, because the backlash has been pretty apparent over the past 24 hours. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky.
It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego.